Okay, I'm doing an update on this cage type feeder and training the bluebirds to use it. And the bluebird babies just fledged a couple of days ago, so they're up in the trees and the parents are using this regularly. But I did want to do an update to kind of give you some more information on this. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now you see what I did here. I put some wire ties, you can buy these at the hardware store, and I blocked up these these four holes in the front and in the back. And the reason I did that is because the mockingbirds were able to reach through those holes and get into the mealworms. And the company that makes these, they give you these plates, these clear plastic acrylic plates, and they come with them installed like this, and the idea is that that's supposed to stop the bigger birds from getting in. The problem is that anything clear like this is very confusing to the birds. They don't really understand glass in particular. Also, if they get to the side of here, they might see themselves and start fighting with their reflection. So this is not a good solution to this issue, the plate. It's much easier and much better to use these wire ties. Okay, so and then on this side, I also installed the wire ties in the same four slots, and this really does work. I saw a mockingbird a couple of days ago try to get in, he couldn't get in. So that's working really well. Also, I installed a perch here. Makes it a lot easier for the birds to get in. And it's basically just a wooden dowel. And then I've had some screws. They're long screws. I think these are like 3 inches long, 632 thread screws. And the nice thing about those is I can just screw those in through the dowel and into the frame of the bird feeder, and it works really well. And you want to leave the dowel natural because that gives the birds better footing. If you paint it, it'll last longer, but it'll be slippery, especially when it gets wet. So those two things. Also, I installed some latches, one on each side. The feeder does not have these latches when you buy it, so the top is really loose, and if this was installed in a tree or anywhere else, a squirrel could theoretically just lift up the top of the roof and get into it. So the latches secure the roof, and there's a little keeper on there too. You can see there's a spring and a keeper which keeps the latch closed. So I have one on this side, and then diagonally also on this side. So that's another improvement I made to the design. And on this side, you probably might have a question about this tape. This is just a temporary thing because of this location. I have an irrigation system, and there's a one of the sprayers is over here, and it sprays directly out in this direction. So I wanted to keep the water from getting into the feeder, so that's why I put that tape there. There is a hole there, so normally you wouldn't have to do that on your feeder. So that's basically it. Those are the improvements. The other thing is I wanted to mention real quick is, when I was training the bluebirds, for a short time I actually took this grate out here in order to make it easier for them to get in for the first time, and that was very difficult to do. So you probably don't have to do that if you're training them, that they probably will find their way in there by themselves eventually, but I did do that to make it easier for them. And there was staples here on the side which were holding it down. I thought I could just open it up and then pull this up, but it wasn't that easy. I ended up having to partially disassemble the feeder to get this thing out. And I was able to actually do it, but I had to pull these, I had to grind these staples down from the inside in order to be able to lift this piece out, this screen part here. So when it was set up, I had the cup, which you see in the previous video. They would see this cup from that other cup, and then they would come over here and they'd land, and then they'd go into it. And so this is the update on that other video. And it's working really good. The bluebirds are using it regularly now, and the other bigger birds can't get into it, so it's working really well.